Good morning, everybody, and welcome to TCA.
Good morning. Good morning, Christian.
Good morning, Andy.
How about that countdown? I like your little countdown.
I'll tell you what. We just we keep learning new stuff here at Wine and Culture USA.
We're evolving.
Trying to bring new media to you guys, our audience, and we got some new ideas actually in the pipeline. So in the upcoming weeks, we'll have some cool video for you guys to watch for machine demonstrations, interviews, discussions, you name it. It's all right here. We are live this morning.
We are live, and speaking of all of the new things that we're going to be doing and trying coming up this year, that's more reason to subscribe.
Yeah,
right? You need to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Those subscriptions are going up. I think 6 months ago we had 4. And now we have a lot more than that. So we ask you to subscribe to that. That way you can get the latest information when new videos are coming out, the answers from the tool room videos. That stuff's taking off. We're doing more. We're adding more content to that. We're going to try new things here on the TCA so we can take that and put that into some of the other platforms.
Right, that's exactly right. And like Andy said, all of our new video content goes up on YouTube. It's always going to be on YouTube. Many times it's also on Facebook or Instagram, etc. But it's always going to be on our YouTube channel. Mm-hmm. It's just a good resource for anybody in the industry, especially folks who are running or owning Weininger-Holzer machinery. That is a great resource for you to get how-tos, our most up-to-date news, etc. is on our YouTube channel. So definitely subscribe.
Yeah, for sure. So if you had a question and it could have been something that you remember during the installation of your machine. You remember there was one thing that you were supposed to do. You can't exactly remember what it was. Maybe you don't feel comfortable calling tech support for something that you consider to be a small thing. We're going to try to put all those small things in these answers from the tool room.
Yes, all the small things.
All the small things that have a big impact.
Right, absolutely. So so again, we're live this morning. We're live on Facebook and we're live on YouTube.
And some of us are a little tired because of the basketball.
I think our viewership is a little tired too. I think we're lagging in numbers this morning, Andy, to be honest with you.
Well, they're probably all tired like me because dang it, they keep putting these games on late at night, and then you end up going to bed. And I was lamenting about it earlier that I'm still tired, and I didn't see the end of the game last night.
Andy is our resident college basketball fan.
College sports. I love college sports.
College sports. So watch the final of the March Madness. So March Madness is now over. I don't think anyone had a perfect bracket this year.
I think most were out in the first round.
But hey, if you got like over 50%, congratulations. I think that's good. So we got, just like every TCA, every week when we come to you live, we come with news about the industry, which we're going to get into in a little bit, and news about Wine and Culture USA. But before we get into the industry news, Andy, we got a lot of exciting stuff happening in the next couple weeks. I think we should really start with that.
Okay.
Yeah. So first of all, in 2 weeks from today, we are going to have TCA on location again.
Fantastic. That you guys seem to really enjoy that.
Yeah.
We're going to show some more manufacturing.
That's right. So we'll be showing some manufacturing from Lugoff, South Carolina. I believe that I've said that correctly. Lugoff, South Carolina, at a great customer of ours, Roy's Wood Products, and they got quite the manufacturing facility there in South Carolina. We can't wait to see them, talk to them, and show you, our audience, around their shop and how they manufacture.
It will be a great tour, great facility, good people. Maybe we'll get some barbecue down there or something.
I hope so. I hope so. So that's in 2 weeks. So make sure you tune in for TCA in 2 weeks. That's Andy. What's the date on that? The 19th, I believe. No, the 20th. April 20th. We'll be bringing you TCA on location. Which again, if you haven't seen TCA on location, go back and look at some of our older streams. They're great. They really kind of show different manufacturing processes, different types of shops, and different ways to manufacture.
Well, I think that, yeah, our way of presenting it is a little different too, because it's just simply the folks, the owners of the company, just walking through the shop, telling you about what they do.
Yeah.
You know, it's not a question and answer. It gets a little loud because we also don't stage it to try to shut everything down so we can walk through.
Right.
But we'll hear from the experts.
Yeah, absolutely. Before we move on, big shout out to Mark Van Dyke, one of our expert Holzer technicians, who's watching us live this morning.
I see that. Morning, kids.
Yeah. Good morning to you, Mark. Great to see you on the stream. And I don't know, you know, Mark's always traveling all over the country, installing various edge banders, all sizes in all types of shops. And yeah, it's pretty wild to think that that our technicians have been in so many shops around the country, installing, working on machines, getting our customers to the maximum capacity that they can get to, and it's neat when one just touches base, like Mark just did.
Yeah, Mark, put in the feed there. What state are you in this morning?
So yeah, and Michael Mushkett is also watching. So good morning, Michael. Great to have you on the feed as well. So Andy, so in 2 weeks we'll be in Lugoff, South Carolina at Roy's Wood Products, and next week we are starting something new on TCA, which I'm really excited about. So next week, and we're going to fold it in the next few months, it's going to be a Meet the Team segment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because so many of our customers out there call in and they talk with a lot of people here in Mooresville or maybe at some of the other locations, and they hear their voice. They know their name,
right?
But maybe they don't have a face to put with that name. So we're going to start adding faces to those names and bring in different departments, different people from different departments. Let them tell you a little bit about what they do.
That's right. So so we're going to basically bring you discussions with team members here during TCA. So that's not going to be its own video segment. That will be during TCA. Andy and I will still bring you news from the industry and what's going on, etc. But we will fold in these Meet the Team segments starting next week. I'm excited about it. It's always great to put a face with a name. It's always great to.
Do you know who's first?
I don't. I do, but I'm going to leave it as a surprise.
Just in case.
I'm going to leave it as a surprise. I'm not even sure that they know that they're first.
Oh,
so,
okay. Okay, so you might need to ask them before you announce.
So yeah, in fact, I'm not even telling them that we're doing this. So I just tell them that we have a meeting and then we record it.
Oh.
So no, I'm just joking. Now no one's going to accept my meeting request. So anyway, but we're going to start that next week. It's going to be a good time, and hopefully it'll give everyone watching a chance to get to meet some team members here in Mooresville. So yeah. Now, one other thing coming up, and this is coming up in months, but that we wanted to touch on, is AWFS. So AWFS
a huge topic right now.
Yeah,
I'm getting messages like crazy asking the simple question, are we going to AWFS?
Right, so yeah.
So we can answer that.
So check out the floor plan. We will be there, yes. Yeah, just like 2 years ago, we will be at AWFS. We will have we'll have the team there. We'll have machines, powered machines there. And now, Andy, we are doing something. I don't want to talk a lot about this because as we progress closer to the show, we'll have a lot more information to share with everyone about the show. But Andy, maybe you can kind of give a really macro picture of what our intent is this year at AWFS.
Well, basically, so we haven't had an event like this in a while, and over the past 12 months, there's been a lot of new developments within our group.
Right.
Some just improvements on existing machines, some new machines. We have new partnerships, things like that. So our theme at AWFS is just simply to bring new stuff. We're going to have all new technology. There will be edge banders, but it's going to be the new edge banders. It's going to be, we're going to have the Shota CNC running. There's a new CNC coming from Holzer. We don't want to spoil it too much, but there's a lot of new stuff that will be on display in our booth And I wish I knew the booth number right now.
No, don't worry about it. So really, if you could sum up our theme for this year's show, it's what's new.
What's new?
Really, what's new? And that's something that I think
we're in a new hall.
We're in a new hall. We're in a new area altogether. The show
we're in a new hotel. We're in a new hall,
and the show has a new vibe to it. So so we are bringing new technology. We want to introduce that new technology to everyone there at the show. So if you're wondering if Wine and Culture will be at the show, yes, we're all in. We were all in 2 years ago. We were all in last year for IWF, and then the show had to cancel. So we
difficult decision, but maybe the right decision.
So we're in, and you know, we want to support the industry. We want to bring our new technology to market, and we think that's important.
Mm-hmm.
So.
We'll be there. Maybe we'll have the. I assume we'll have the TCA that from the booth, maybe.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because the show starts on Tuesday.
We'll need to have TCA, a daily TCA from the booth. That should be fun. But anyway, we'll have more information about the show and what our attendance exhibit will be like, both in machinery specifics. We'll get into that in weeks to come. And also in multimedia, live streams, etc. We'll get into that in weeks to come too.
Mm-hmm.
So
very good.
So anyway, so that's it. So just to recap, three things in the future. In 2 weeks, we'll be at Roy's Wood Products, TCA on location. Always a crowd pleaser. Excited about that. Yep. Next week, we start the Meet the Team segment during TCA, where you get to put some faces with names of people who you might talk to here at Wine and Culture USA. And come July, we will be in Vegas at the AWFS show, for anyone wondering. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. All right. So now that all is out of the way, let's talk about the industry a little bit.
There's some new stuff. You know, we've talked a lot about different things. Of course, the housing market is what we've been talking a lot about, because that's been in the news. We've talked about how Kiplinger has been using that as an indicator to show how it has been driving our GDP.
Right.
It continues to be up. It continues to be strong. We are seeing new information. I typically try to pull information that's maybe no more than a week old. And so this morning I was actually reading, it was Zillow that popped up, and they had an article talking about how the side of it that I haven't really read or gotten a lot of information was the employment that has been generated. So the employment levels are up, obviously, in the housing market, because there's a lot of houses being built.
True.
Also, they talk about the values of the homes. The home values continue to rise. They were saying that by the end of the year, we were going to be. They're now expecting that the home prices will be up on average maybe 10%, 10.5%.
Just this year?
By the end of the year.
Wow.
They're expecting them actually to go up to as much as 13.5% higher, and then it's going to settle back down. But at the end of the year, they're thinking 10% higher. So that with, you know, mortgage rates are going up slightly. They're not at 2.8% like they used to be. But we're still money's still really cheap. Even if they were to go up an entire point, it does have an impact. But it's still cheap money as compared to what we've seen in the past.
Yeah.
I still remember when I was buying a house, I guess almost 20 years ago, when we were so excited that we locked in a mortgage rate at 7% or something.
Yeah, something like that, right?
Yeah. So that was so now that we're around 3%, and we're getting a little nervous that maybe will it go to 4%. I don't think it's going to go all the way to 4% this year.
Yeah.
But it is going to go up. But it is relatively, or not even relatively, actually inexpensive.
It is.
So.
Absolutely. So folks are still talking about, and it's still a concern in the industry, the cost of building materials, cost of raw materials going into really any part of the construction process. So we are not immune from that. Timber prices are still on the rise, and we as an industry are continuing to try to navigate those rising prices. You know, rising prices is one thing. I think what we're trying to really truly navigate is how quickly they rose. Right. That was the main tricky part for the industry that we're still trying to face. Also, just the availability of goods.
Yeah.
Again, going into the wood products industry, timber, the availability of timber is still at a premium, and that's been a challenge for many shops. Getting supplies, having to extend out their lead times, and that's just, again, something that we're navigating as an industry.
Well, and so as we continue to have new challenges and we have to pivot to adjust and accommodate the new challenges, some of the things that, since I've been with the Weinig Group almost 5 years now, we haven't traditionally had a lot of demand for machines like finger joiners in the U.S.
Yeah, so
and
let's
that has
talk
changed
about
recently,
that.
right? With the lack of material, or with the prices of material,
That's
it's such a wood has become such a hot commodity.
Right. So
nobody wants to throw anything away.
Yeah. So let's take a minute and talk about that, because I think it's a great example for everyone watching. Let's first start with just the basics. So finger joining is basically a process to join shorter pieces of wood into a longer piece of wood, and that's done with what's called a finger joint, which is a joint that's in the wood, looks like fingers doing this, and strong joint, and so you make all these smaller pieces into a larger piece and then reuse the larger piece, because you couldn't reuse the smaller pieces.
Right.
Now, Andy, why don't you just let everybody know? So people who are finger joining material, if they weren't, what would they be doing?
They would be grinding it up.
Grinding it up.
Yeah.
Right? They'd be putting it in the chipper into the...
For pieces that were too short to use in whatever their products were, they would grind it up. It'd go into the chipper. It turns into bedding for livestock.
That's right.
That's
right.
Yeah.
And you know what? There was, and probably is, still decent money in that. Yeah, you can sell your dust. There's folks, folks in the Midwest, they pay decent money for
and
dust.
probably they're paying more for that now as well.
Yeah, they probably are. Now, with the change of the material cost, people's mindset changes, and now instead of grinding it up, can we somehow repurpose that waste? And so that's where finger joining comes in.
Right, and this is in the U.S. we know that finger joining has been more popular in Europe in recent years, but even in Europe, we're seeing the numbers of finger joining projects going up. This is what we're seeing right now with materials. It's not something that's unique to the U.S. or even to North America. It really is a global.
It's global.
A global situation.
Absolutely.
This is a great example of a global economy and how those things are affecting us. So things like finger joiners, that is drilling down to a specific need, but then just automation in general is a kind of a higher level need. And we're seeing that around the world that shops are now needing to automate for a variety of reasons as they pivot in the midst of these new challenges.
That's right. So we've talked about automation in the past, and having the need for that, both to have better yields, but then also to solve some labor challenges as well. I think that the finger joining topic is even more of a specific drill down to to managing that waste, those cutoffs that were less important when material was cheaper.
Yep.
And what's interesting is, I'll tell you what, Andy. I'll be honest, and you may have thought of it, but a couple months ago when we started talking about material cost and we started talking about automation, I said to myself, yeah, automation, that makes sense, because material cost is going up, and I didn't even think about finger joining. I didn't even think about how that solves part of the challenge. And so I'm actually excited just to see how our industry here in the U.S. Continues to evolve and adapt to, as I said before, to navigate the higher prices of material.
We are an industrious people.
We are. We make solutions.
We come up with solutions, right? We don't sit still.
Yeah.
We don't put our head in the proverbial sand.
Right.
We get stuff done. We figure out how to be successful. That's the great thing about our industry, because we do see that examples of that even outside the U.S. But that is something that has always been almost a staple of the culture in the U.S. Right? It's we get stuff done.
Yeah, we get stuff done, and I think that our industry is a perfect example of that as well. You know, we are makers at our core, right? This industry, we make things. That's what we do. And so when we come up to a challenge, what we do, we make a solution to it. So so cheers to all the
cheers to the makers.
Cheers to the makers and all the professionals in our industry that are coming up with tomorrow's solutions. Yeah, cheers to you guys. Our hats are off to y'all. So yeah, all right. So
that's a lot of stuff in just a little bit of time.
Yeah, absolutely, Andy. So again, everyone, if you're watching, thanks for tuning in. This was TCA. We're live on Facebook and YouTube every week, 9 a.m. on Tuesdays.
But before we go, I do have to make comment that the one person who hasn't put anything in the comments field is the one person that inspired us to put our set here with the Xentrex in the background, Mr. Andreas.
Oh, yeah.
He several weeks ago, he asked us to put the Xentrex in the background. We've done it, and he's not watching.
Well, maybe Andreas will tune in afterwards, but he did not escape the call out from Andy on that one. So we do. Yeah, we'll put another machine behind our set next week. But yeah, this week it's our
and then in 2 weeks we'll have quite the set.
We'll have quite the array that we'll be walking through Roy's, right?
Yeah.
So that's always exciting. All right, everyone. So remember, if you haven't subscribed yet to our YouTube channel, go ahead, get on over there, check it out, hit the subscribe button, and again, we're live every Tuesday, 9 a.m. from Wine and Culture USA.
Very good. Until next week.
Till next week. Take care, everyone.